Welcome to Impact News, folks. I got a story for you. Folks, I got to tell you, this is just so ridiculous. Coming out of Texas, of course, where the governor is Governor Abbott, and we all know doesn't appear to have any empathy for anyone unless they're a white male. Okay. And certainly not for children. All right, in Texas, a third grader found the school superintendent's gun, in a bathroom stall. That's right, folks. It was in the school bathroom, folks. It happened at Rising Star Elementary School in Rising Star, Texas. Folks, the superintendent, it's just ridiculous. A student found a gun in the bathroom, and it was the superintendent of the school's gun. The student, fortunately, immediately notified a teacher without touching the weapon. So the student had more sense than the superintendent. And the superintendent's name is Robbie Stuteville. Apparently, he said the gun belonged to him. Gee, thanks for telling us. And that he and the principal support open carry on campus in elementary school. They support open carry, and they are so uncaring about the students that they go, first of all, and leave their gun somewhere. And second of all, why would you, if you have a gun and you're going to take it off when you use the bathroom, don't you think you would say, well, let me not use the student's bathroom because I might make a mistake? But they don't care. And that's the first thing, is they don't care. The second thing is they just can't think. These people cannot think, okay? All right, now, Stuteville explained that he took off the gun, placed it in a stall while using the restroom, okay? The firearm remained in the bathroom unattended for about 15 minutes. He says he doesn't know how long it was there because he didn't know the gun was there. So, all right, 15 minutes, he says, before it was found by a child. How disgraceful. Folks, after one third grader reported the gun, a second third grader, you're not going to believe this, was sent by a teacher to the bathroom to find out if the gun was real. All these people, there are no brains in that school, okay? The father of the second grader, who had just moved to that area from Uvalde, where there was a terrible mass shooting, he said this. And fortunately, he taught his kid, because the second third grader didn't touch the gun either. Okay? He had just moved to the area from Uvalde. Here was his question. Why would you send a kid? Why not send someone else? So the whole school, folks, get your kids out of that school. Homeschool your kids. Okay, first of all, you got the superintendent, a person in an authority position, and the principal supporting open carry. All right, that boggles the mind at an elementary school, let's be clear. Then they go to the bathroom the same bathroom where the kids use, and take the gun off to use the bathroom and leave the gun. So nobody said, well, let's not go to the bathroom in the kids' bathroom, because you just never know. And then the teacher is just as silly as they are. The teacher sends another student to verify that the gun was real. Why? Because the teacher said, just in case somebody got that gun, I'll be doggone if I'm going to get killed. It is just an amazing amount. I'm sorry to say this, but it is utter stupidity and a total lack of empathy. And I said only in Texas, but I misspoke, because we all know that could happen in Florida, where Ron DeSantis has a complete lack of empathy for people. So those are your stories to start, folks. That's your commentary. We have got to get rid of these guns. There's simply too many of them. And the people that have them, they don't appear to be all there. Stay with me. Good day. I am Carol Angela Davis with your news, from your stories coming from all around the neighborhood and all around the world. Folks, let's begin with Tyler Perry. He is donating what a guy. He's donating $2.75 million to help Atlanta's low-income seniors so they can remain in their communities. Folks, these are the communities, of course, that they built. And you should know that in Georgia, nearly 54% of seniors struggle to make ends meet. So the entertainment and business mogul, this is what he's doing. He's paying the back property taxes for 300 low-income seniors, and he's going to cover tax increases for 100 low-income elderly residents over the next 2 decades, folks. His gift covers city taxes, county taxes, school taxes, and of course those property taxes. He's working alongside Invest Atlanta Partnership. That's the philanthropic arm of Atlanta's Economic Development Authority. All right, moving on. What do you think of this? A new bill. This is so crazy. These people are cray-cray. A new bill, okay, would allow inmates to donate their organs for reduced sentences. Huh? Oh, yeah. All right, a 2017 study conducted by the U.S. Sentencing Commission, let me tell you what it found, okay? Black male inmates receive sentences 20.4% longer than white males. So first they're going to give you a longer sentence, then you're going to say, okay, well, if you donate your organs, you can get out early. How about you donate your organs, get out? Oh, these are worse people. A bill being proposed in Massachusetts, this is where it's playing out, may allow inmates to deduct a year off their sentences if they donate their organs or their bone marrow. Critics say the bill preys on the prison population. I'll say, and get this, folks, at the end of 2018, there were 2,272 inmates per 100,000 black men. There were 1,018 inmates per 100,000 Hispanic men. And get this, folks, there were only 392 inmates per 100,000 white men. That would be no. Please don't give them your organs unless they're going to let you out of jail. Because as if you all know, the African American, the black, the person coming from Africa, that person's organs, blood, etc., are able to be accepted by almost everybody, whereas other cultures' blood can best be accepted only by their own people. So don't fall for it. We're valuable. If they want your organs, let you out. Otherwise, leave you alone, because there's no good coming to this. Everybody's making money. The inmate doesn't get any money. They get a year off their sentence. Please spare me. All right, let's move on. From Colorado, a black rancher was arrested after going public about being terrorized, yes, by white neighbors. This has been going on since 2017. Courtney and Nicole Mallory, they own a 1,000-acre ranch called Freedom Acres. It's in eastern El Paso County. They say they are stalked, harassed, chased, followed, folks, and have had the N-word spray painted on items in their home. Okay, so for that, Courtney Mallory, he was the one that got arrested, charged with felony stalking. Bond set at $6,000 in the local Rocky Mountain chapter of the NAACP. They're on the case. They bailed him out. Now, this is even though the Mallorys have filed 6 restraining orders against their neighbors, okay, all of which were dismissed. Yeah, okay. The couple says nothing has been done to help them after finding their livestock slaughtered and their property damaged, their chicken coops set ablaze, and their surveillance system disabled by high-tech jamming devices. Woo, you have to wonder who's doing this mess. Okay, the local newspaper reports that a ranch hand who worked for the Mallorys was, quote, shot dead in Rush, Colorado, about 14 miles from their Yoder ranch, unquote. The body of that rancher, Donaciano Amaya, 43 years old, was found on May 21st, 2021, and his killer remains at large. These people are dangerous, no question about it. All right, let's look at immigration from Arizona, where there is now improved access to college for undocumented students, folks. It's due to Proposition 308. Now, undocumented immigrants are eligible for the same fees and state financial aid at state universities and community colleges as local U.S. citizens. Then looking at our LGBTQ community, for the first time, Seoul, South Korea's High Court, it's recognizing the legal status of same-sex couples. Now gay couples get the same health insurance rights as heterosexual couples, and you should know that more than 30 countries, including Taiwan, have legalized same-sex marriage, but it is still illegal in South Korea and Japan. All right, moving on. We're looking at the environment now. The so-called doomsday glacier, folks, it is in trouble. I don't ever want to hear the term doomsday with and in trouble in the same sentence, because we know we got serious problems. And that's because the scientists found the surprising formations under the ice shelf. They say the doomsday glacier, that's the Thwaites Glacier in Antarctica. The doomsday glacier is the Thwaites Glacier in Antarctica. And it got that name because its collapse could drive catastrophic sea level rise of more than 2 feet. Whew. And that's enough to devastate coastal communities all around the world. Folks, scientists estimate that global sea level could ultimately rise about 10 feet if the Thwaites collapses. A 2021 study, it found that the ice shelf could shatter within the next 5 years, people. Yes, oh my goodness. And scientists say the Thwaites Glacier is literally hanging on by its fingernails as the planet warms, with the potential for rapid retreat of that glacier in the coming years. Once widespread melting of the Greenland ice sheet and large parts of Antarctica are triggered, folks, they call it a runaway train. They're saying it's extremely difficult to stop it. It could be prevented only if the world reaches net zero carbon emissions by 2060. I don't know if we're going to reach it, but I know we're not on target to reach it now, so we got to get busy. Everybody do your part. Okay, then, At least 15 million people worldwide live in the flood paths of lakes that form as mountain glaciers melt, and that can abruptly burst the banks of those lakes. They're called glacial lakes. We should know that more than half of the people in the flood paths are concentrated in 4 countries. We're talking Peru, China, India, and Pakistan. These glacial lake outburst floods can be catastrophic. Folks, that water is capable of crushing houses, flattening hydroelectric projects, destroying infrastructure, anything in its path. They've been known to cause hundreds of deaths when they occur. Okay, just do your part. Stop the plastic. Just do your part, okay? Now, also, I want to tell you that millions of Americans here, they were already fleeing our homes. We've talked about that before because of extreme weather. One Florida man says on his block, 11 of the 26 houses on his street, they have already been torn down due to weather disasters. Okay? 1.4% of the U.S. population has had to leave their homes because of weather disasters. You should know 16% of them are never able to return home. Nearly half left because of hurricanes. 1/5 said they evacuated because of flooding or fire. That is the new normal. Let's go to Venice, where the canals there are running dry due to low tide and lack of rain. Now the gondolas, the water taxis and ambulances, they're unable to navigate some of Venice's famous canals. Now the Po is Italy's longest river. It runs from the Alps all the way in the northwest to the Adriatic Sea. It has 61% less water than normal at this time of year. Now that can't be good, okay? All right, let's move on. We're going to the Caribbean. Four-time half Haitian Grand Slam winner Naomi Osaka. She's currently on hiatus from professional tennis while she waits to deliver her baby with her partner. That's Grammy-nominated rapper Corday. Now, she is still busy. She has a new skincare line, folks. It's called Kinlo, and it translates to gold. In both of those syllables translate to gold in Japanese and Haitian Creole, respectively. It was launched with a black female dermatologist. You know that Naomi Osaka was born to a Japanese mother and a Haitian father, and she says this: I am quite soft-spoken, which is definitely from my Japanese side, but I think my fierce competitiveness comes from my Haitian side. All right, I'll say, let's go, let's do it. Meanwhile, taking a quick look at Africa, China is a big presence, folks, in the final stages of Nigeria's closely fought presidential election. Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation, folks, and it is a leading oil producer. Nigeria is strategically important because it has a large consumer market, okay, infrastructure needs, and it also has a location on the fossil fuel-rich Gulf of Guinea. Now, Chinese companies have contracts to build $47 billion in new infrastructure, including trains, expressways, power plants, and airport terminals, and you should also know this. Chinese companies are scouting the world, folks. They're looking for mining assets because China's new energy vehicle industry, folks, like all electric vehicles, it has a great demand for lithium, cobalt, and nickel, key metals used in the batteries that are used for electric and hybrid vehicles. Those, folks, are your stories. Stay with me. I got to ask Dr. K, the International Report with Dr. Inyang Ebong-Harshok, also the Slay Word. I've also got the financial news and missing. Stay with me. Time for that Slay Word so you can level up your vocab and stay competitive, folks. The word this week is odiose. O-T-I-O-S-E, odiose, okay? It's an adjective. That means it modifies or describes the noun. It comes from the Latin in the late 18th century, and it means serving no practical purpose or result, idle. All right, let's use it in a sentence. The new light fixtures were very beautiful, but they were odiose. And how about this one? House cats. I'm a cat lover. House cats live quite an odious life, okay? They're napping in sunbeams and requesting snacks all day long. Odiose. That's your Slay Word of the week so you can level up your vocab. It means serving no practical purpose or result, idle. Stay with me.
Anyone who thinks that slavery ended in the 1860s with the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation are grievously wrong.
If we caught a bird, we ate through the feathers and ate the bird. We didn't have nothing to cook on. We didn't have no stove. You know who you are and who we are.
We're still on that big plantation.
She was bonded to them until they died. She was their slave.
They said, bro, we're gonna be killed tonight.
Could that same white dude
keep terrorists there, or Russian spies, or the KGB, then the government wouldn't know it? No.
They thought I was beat so bad that I couldn't do nothing, but I did.
This is our missing segment, folks. It's where we look for our missing young African-American girls. And I don't know where you are, but I want you to know we are looking for you, and with the community's help, we'll find you. Have you seen 15-year-old Anaya Gayton? She's been missing since February this year from Dallas, Texas. That's Anaya Gayton. She's 15 years old. She's been missing since February of this year from Dallas, Texas. Anyone having any information, please contact McKinney Police Department, and their phone number is 972-547-2700. Where are you? We are looking for you. And with the help of our community, we will find you. We're back at you with the International Report with your favorite international reporter, Dr. Inyang Ebong Harstrup. Welcome, Edie.
Thank you, Carol. Well, you know, today I could not do a story that did not involve my country, Nigeria, the single most populous Black African nation. We're going to the polls, and we're really proud of this. But it's as usual, it's very, very dicey and very, very nervy and nerve-wracking. So Saturday, in a fiercely contested presidential vote that's too close to call, the people will go to the polls. Out of 18 candidates, there are three major ones to look at. One is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a candidate of the current president's party. He's 70 years old. He has helped the president get into office after 3 failed attempts or so. So his slogan is, "It's my turn now." Ooh. That's his slogan. Yeah, because he's been a kingmaker and a godmaker, and he wants his turn. The second candidate is a former vice president called Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party. And finally, you have the third candidate who has disrupted, because normally it's a two-party system. So we have a third candidate for the Labour Party, a gentleman called Peter Obi, who was the governor twice of Anambra State, who has really captured the imaginations of the youth, what's left of the middle class, and they're really, really keen for him to accede to the highest office in the land. Now, will the elections be held? That's always a big question. Will the elections be held? Well, it's dicey. You've got high levels of security. You've got issues with money because they took out the old Nairas out of circulation so they wouldn't use them for vote buying. So now the new Nairas have not come in, and it's a bit of a problem because that has to pay the poll workers, etc. So there are lots of little moving pieces that could cause, particularly the security, that could cause a problem with the elections. What are the issues? The biggest one is security. It was so insecure. Even when I went there for that wedding in July last year, the security around the wedding was significant. There's issues of security, and there's issues of the economy. That is the biggest thing on people's minds. What is going to be done about this economy that was so oil dependent? So we will see. Who is tipped to win? Well, it depends which polls you go to. But some polls say Peter Obi is tipped to win. If he has a full turnout, he is tipped to win. Other polls say it could be between the two, the PDP and the APC, because that's a traditional structure with maybe some votes going to Obi. But you know where my heart is? My heart is with Peter Obi, because we have never had a Southeasterner coming to the fore as a president since the Civil War.
Wow. Is your dad from the Southeast?
Yes, he is.
I thought, yes, I remember at Cross River State. All right, well, this and now, yeah, you know what's going on. Now, if you don't know, now you know. Now, we'll let you know how the elections turn out. And of course,
Yes.
we're praying for Nigeria like we're praying for America with all this drama going on. Thank you so much, Dr. Inyang Ebon Harstrup. I'm Carol Angela Davis. Stay with us. Back with your financial news, folks. We got to know what's going on with the money, as we know. So let's start with the U.S. housing market, which I hope you're in. And if you're not in, you got to get in where you fit in. Just get in. Because when this weather changes, you're going to need a place to stay where no landlord can throw you out. So try to get yourself and your family in an ownership position, okay? All right, the U.S. housing market is reportedly overvalued by $200 billion, folks, due to unpriced climate risk, okay? Specifically, those risks are the potential cost of unrealized flood risk, and flood zone property prices are reportedly overvalued themselves by $121 to $237 billion, okay? And it's mostly due to development in flood-prone areas. You know, these developers, they don't care. They'll sell you anything. You got to do your homework. If it's a flood-prone area, don't buy the house there, okay? Increasing frequency and severity of flooding, as we know, it is expected to increase as the number of properties exposed to flooding is also expected to increase by 11%. Oh my goodness. Most of the overvalued properties, they are concentrated in counties along the coast. So if you're on the coast, you're buying a house inland as quick as you can. Okay, in Florida, properties are apparently overvalued by more than $50 billion. Ron DeSantis, are you listening? So all this is going on in your state. You worried about banning Maya Angelou or somebody like that. Stop. Do your job. Get to work. Okay, let's go on. A top U.S. smoothie company, folks, it is accused of deception after toxic PFAS chemicals were discovered in the smoothie, folks. Now it's facing a lawsuit. We're talking Bolthouse Farms. The lawsuit says that Bolthouse Farms deceived people by claiming Green Goddess smoothie is made with 100% fruit juice. But testing of the drink apparently found the drink contains toxic PFAS at levels far above federal advisory drinking water limits. Now, PFAS researchers say the chemicals may have been in the fruit. They don't know where the chemicals came from. They could have been in the fruit, which could have been contaminated from pesticides, or, yes, there's more, water, could have been in the water, which you drink every day, or, no, that's not the end of it, or the use of PFAS-tainted sewage sludge as fertilizer. Oh, they got us every way we turn. And it's also possible that water added to the drink could have been contaminated. In other words, there's so much PFAS chemicals out here, they don't know where it came from. Take note. Finally, the chemicals, and we should also, I didn't mention, that they also could have been gotten into the drink from the plastic packaging. You know, that plastic packaging that everything comes in is full of PFAS chemicals. And we know that they're typically used to make thousands of consumer products so that they're water resistant, stain resistant, and heat resistant. And we know they call them forever chemicals because they just don't break down, folks. They just stick around forever, and they're linked to cancer. They're linked to fetal complications, liver disease, kidney disease, autoimmune disorders, and other serious health issues. Okay, that's where we are. Let's clean it up, get the right people in charge. All right, let's go to United Airlines. It says it is opening up more seats on aircraft for families traveling with children younger than 12, so the kids can sit with an adult. Gee, thanks, guys. In their party without paying a fee. Imagine being on an airplane and you got to pay a fee to sit with your parent. Now, I'm going to ask you as a passenger, what passenger is going to prefer to sit next to some 3-year-old who his mother is 3 or 4 aisles up? You know, the little kid is scared to death. I mean, United, stop the greed. Come on. The airline also says it will stop charging customers a fare difference if they switch to a flight at the same destination that has adjacent seats. So first they create the opportunity for you to pay for your seat. If you don't want to pay for your seat, then you have to switch to it for your kid. You have to switch to another flight, which is going to cost you more money. I mean, the whole thing, it's just like the hamster that's in that little cage just keeps going and going and never gets anywhere. This is what they're doing to this country because of greed. The change comes as the Biden administration, thank you, is seeking to tamp down airline passenger fees. Biden saying this, quote, airlines can't treat your child like it's a piece of baggage, unquote. Thank you, Joe Biden. Those are your financial stories. Stay with me.
I'm just sick and tired of us not spending time together lately.
I know, baby. I know. I'm sorry I ain't been spending time with you. I just been working on this big deal. It's gonna bring a lot more money to the household for it.
What you doing here, boss? Yeah, just checking to see if you still got it.
You take this work. You partner. I don't want it back.
I've seen the movies, man. I know how this goes.
You see the movie, huh? Did you see Goodfellas? New Jack City?
Everything I do is for you. Like, I just need a little bit more time, man. Fine bullshit. Like I said, he's gonna call any second.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why don't you take a look at this video? Guess what? It's starring you.
Closing out the show, as we always do, keeping your health in mind. Welcome, Dr. K. What you got for us today?
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Today, I wanted to talk about something that really, in a way, is underpinning a lot of our food choices, and it's called reductionism. And reductionism is where I take food and I break it down to all its elements. So you need vitamin E for this, vitamin C for this, biotin, all the supplements. But it's stuff that has not improved our health at all. In fact, it's hurt our health. And all we really have for it is the supplement aisle. And we're no better. You don't need to reduce food down to its elements. You need to really focus on whole foods, plant-based eating, getting the whole food. And all those nutrients come from plants. So now people are taking a supplement for fiber, a supplement that helps their blood flow. No, people, everything that's in the supplement aisle is also in the produce aisle. And it's given to us in the way that we can use it, in the form, the quantity, etc., that we can use it, because sometimes we're over supplementing and it's actually dangerous to our physiology. So underneath all of this, the concept of reductionism doesn't work. Eat whole foods, plant-based diet. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much, Dr. K. You know, we'll be back with more on your health. I'm Carol Angela Davis from all of us here at Impact News. Have a great week.